this company could generate in excess of $2 billion in total revenue over the life of their mine from their McLaren Titanium Project. And here to tell us more about it is Simon Finnis, the Managing Director of McLaren Minerals. Simon, it's a pleasure to have you back on. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Shay. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. Now, I led today's interview with a pretty juicy number, which means I'm going to have to get you to clarify what I'm talking about. But to lead you there, I am talking about the pre-feasibility study that you released to the market yesterday. Look, this is super impressive. Can you take us through what this means?
Yeah, look, we really liked the outcomes. Clearly, the market didn't think the same. However, what we've generated is a project with a decent NPV that generates cash over a long time. And that's exactly what we said this project would do. So for us, it's just it's another stepping stone. We'll keep pushing and pushing, but you've got a project here with a 16-year mine life, which is just the beginning. We all know that from the fact of the resource total and the amount we've mined during this in this study, or the amount we're going to mine as per this study. And we think there's heaps of potential. We're going to keep going and move into the next phase.
I wouldn't mind drawing investors' attention to something mentioned in this study, and that is that more than 60% of the total resource you've referenced in this announcement hasn't actually been mined. So does this mean that there could be a lot more potential upside that hasn't been factored into this pre-feasibility study?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's the reason we put that line in there, was to try and guide people to that conclusion. I don't know whether that's the reason we've had a negative response, but look, it is a 500 million tonne resource. But on the basis for the PFS, we used a conceptual pit which had 185 million tonnes in it. So everyone can do the maths. You just subtract 185 from 500, and the number you're left with is what is left in the ground. Clearly, we're not going to leave that in the ground. We're going to look for ways to mine that. And the other thing I think people are missing is, our previous announcements of all this high-grade material that we found, which actually sits below the normal mineralized sand beds, and that hasn't been used in the resource. I mean, that's because most of the drilling previous to ours didn't go into that area. So we've got a huge amount of upside here, and people are looking at the PFS as a one-off shot and discarding it. Of course, we don't think that's the right thing to do.
Now, this pre-feasibility study clearly paints a picture of quite a robust project with an in-demand mineral like titanium. Mate, 2026 has just begun. What does the year look like? How are you progressing the project from here?
Yes, so we're in the planning phases of the bankable feasibility. We're finalising our drilling program, which clearly will focus on some of those aspects we just discussed. But everyone knows drilling is expensive, so we've got to be modest in our expectations there. We'll drill the best we can for what we have, and we'll turn this into a much more robust mining project. After that, of course, we'll go back into engineering phase and do a lot more engineering to make sure we get it to a standard that we can call a bankable feasibility study. There's lots of tests to do. We want to obviously produce some finished products, and we want to go marketing. And for us, that's one of the keys to this project, is to sell some of this material by way of an offtake agreement, and potentially that's a pathway to financing as well.
So what I'm hearing here, the steps you've outlined is that you are driving this project towards development.
Correct. Yeah, nothing's changed there. We think it's a project that should be developed. It's in the right part of the world. It's close to a deep water port. It's got lots of other positive benefits, demand for the product. Clearly, it's just not exciting enough for some investors.
Well, Simon, I really appreciate this update, and I look forward to future ones. Thank you so much for your time today.
No worries, Shay. Thank you.